so much for having me in, and it's great to be here. I don't know what time it is in your side of the world, but it's 8:45 in sunny Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona to be exact. So I want to share some about uh, our e-commerce businesses and how we can actually beat Amazon in their own game. Now, I want to be careful with how I share that, and I don't want to say that we're going to build as big of a website as Amazon, obviously, because that's just not the case. And we really, it's an uphill battle to try to, compete and beat any competitor at their own game. But I want to talk about some differentiators for your online store and how we can touch on that. Now, specifically, what I tend to focus on, what our company focuses on, is WooCommerce. So whatever platform you're using, whether it's WooCommerce, Shopify, or anything of the like, you can use that to its strengths. And so when I asked the question, why WooCommerce? WooCommerce is actually a great online platform for you to be able to customize and build the business that you actually want. So instead of being restricted by any particular things that the platform has, whether it's hosted or being specific to doing just a certain amount of things, WooCommerce really allows you to be able to build the store of your dreams and customize it to whatever level you need to. So let's take a look at the actual adoption of WooCommerce. Now, these stats are a little bit old, and it continues to change as we move forward. But back in 2015, when WordPress's parent company, Automatic, purchased WooCommerce, these were the statistics. So we see in the green right here, I don't know if you can see the pencil, but in green, we see WooCommerce was holding fast in 2015 about 21%. And that number continues to increase, as well as WordPress being one of the main platforms for online experiences that holds steady at about 30% of all online sites. So that's a massive number. Now, obviously, you could see, Magento holds a big piece of that. Shopify holds a big piece of that. And there's a lot of other platforms you can choose to build on. So it's not just restrictive of WooCommerce, but I can share some things and just kind of speak to any online platform in general on how you can actually build a store that's going to really help you differentiate yourself from an online competitor like Amazon. Now, a little called ModeEffect. I actually co-founded a company called ModeEffect, and we started in about 2010, and we best help online stores really be able to grow their businesses and support them technically. And what I mean by that is we are a great partner for those who really need that ongoing help to keep their store running at a high level, and also understand how best to leverage those little hinges and those levers that will really help them get to the next level and really get the maximum results. And so you can check us out at modeeffect.com, or you can follow me at CodyL on Twitter. So the first thing I want to touch on, our first point rather, is when looking at a store, looking at how Amazon does things, we want to just not take a look at, we don't want to just look at Amazon as our competitor, but we want to look at other competitors in our space and actually see what we can learn from them. What are the things we can glean and really put into our online store? Now, if you're, and I think Katie touched on this in her last presentation, but there's a lot of niche businesses in e-commerce, and it's a fantastic place to be in, especially in this day and age, where we have so many different types of stores and so many different types of products, and people can launch businesses and do really great things and serve a niche customer base. So it's important that we want to be in that space. And specifically, we want to take as much information as we possibly can from our competitors, and want to understand that the things that they're doing successfully and the things that we can really learn that work well. not only from an e-commerce best practice standpoint, but also just some things that do well in their space and what things we can do to differentiate in our space. Now you can take a look at a page of a product on Amazon. This happens to be a wallet, a specific wallet that's an RFID wallet. You can see a lot of things that are brought up on this specific product page. Now, depending on what platform you're using for your store, you may not be able to get as granular on these details. But you could see, just looking at this, there are multiple things within a view that you don't have to scroll in to just learn about the product, types of colors, general information, what type of reviews it's gotten. We can see what type of things that other customers buy together. And the point is that when learning from our competitors, and specifically learning from Amazon, we can really take this opportunity to just see what's working well and what things are showing up on a page for us to understand and apply. So one of the things to keep in mind with Amazon and why we can learn so much from Amazon and how they display things on their site is Amazon's running over hundreds of different tests on their website at any given time. So these changes all take place in the categories, subcategories, product pages, all of this information. Really, we get the best benefit of seeing this on a customer-facing page to be able to learn and understand how we can best display our product pages and the product info we're looking to give out. So the things that we can learn from Amazon is specifically looking at a product page or overall. We're finding out on that specific product page, what are consumers buying? What are the things that they are purchasing? And not only what are they purchasing on a single product instance, but what are they purchasing along with it? Now, in that last page, and you can see it kind of dimly behind this text, what are the things that are complaints, general complaints about this specific product? And perhaps in the comments, reviews, whatever you want to call it, we're finding out from customers good feedback on which features do they wish this specific product had. And lastly, what price point is this product selling at? So these are just really quick takeaways looking at a product page on Amazon. We could get multiple slides. We could do a full presentation on what to learn from Amazon or from our specific competitors and see exactly what information is being put on a page. But specifically from Amazon, this is really great because we get an opportunity to learn exactly what these tests have resulted in and what happens or what goes on a page for people to learn and what type of information customers are putting right out there on the front page. So we're learning from our competitors. We're being able to understand and looking at Amazon specifically and being able to understand what things are working best for them. So the next thing I want to focus on is creating a strategy. And this is a good lead in Katie's talk that just finished up a little bit ago. If we're just starting out online or if we're really trying to get our store back in shape, we want to create a strategy that helps us best learn from our competitors and be able to really apply things and get a better opportunity to serve our customers. Now, it depends on what our strengths are. A lot of businesses just kind of start with an idea. A lot of online stores just kind of launched by necessity or maybe you have experience working at another retail platform or whatnot. But there's definitely help with creating some type of a high-level strategy here. And you don't really have to get, you don't have to get super granular, but really just making sure that there's some type of specific strategy related to how we learn from our competitors, related to how we can learn from Amazon on how best to accomplish our goals. And again, I'm really hitting these things on a high level because we could take each exact point on this presentation and put that into an exact talk. So we could do a specific talk on how to create a strategy for your online store. So if you have questions about that, love to hit those at the end. But I'm really trying to keep on a high level here. So we're looking at key things, just a few quick key things I want to look at with creating a strategy. And making sure that the decisions we make are definitely within the alignment of vision of our brand. If we launched a brand and specifically maybe it's a niche brand, maybe it's a pet food, maybe it's a wearable clothing for sporting goods or whatnot, we want to make sure that that vision is clear and we can learn from our competitors and be able to know how the things we learn work into our strategy. We also want to make sure our store does one thing really well before we add to the next thing. So that kind of goes back to the last point with learning from our competitors. We're looking at a store, specifically Amazon, looking at that product page, and this is a result of tons and tons of testing, lots of different things that have happened for this specific mature instance of a product page to launch and get to where you see it. So before you know the old saying, before you run, you've got to crawl, or before you crawl, you've got to run, whatever. But that's the thing we want to take in mind, especially on a platform like WooCommerce, or any platform you're going to use. You really want to make sure that you can do one thing really well on your store, and it gets buyers through the entire process before we add on every single bell and whistle. So that's the key to keep in mind when creating our strategy. And the last point is making sure we share that strategy with the key people on our team. Now, whether that's your co-founders, the people who are employed by your company, or just the technical team, like, for instance, us at MotiveFact, you want to share your strategy to be able to have good collaborators on your side to make sure that that's an ongoing process of making sure the strategy is all put together in a way that everybody's on board and it's being implemented on your online store. Want to look at is building a brand. And that's the thing. I think obviously this is another point that's really going to be hit on a high level, but there are so many things and assumptions that we think about when we talk brand. A lot of people think logo when they think brand, especially in a WooCommerce world, especially when we get straight to doing the nitty-gritty of online selling and running a business. What is a brand? How's my brand being able to be affected and being able to be something that I can take and I can really build into something that means something to my customers. Now, when looking at Amazon, that's a difference between our stores and Amazon. And we mentioned niche, however you pronounce it. It's so important because when launching an online store, now more than ever, niche brands and niche markets are so important and so valuable and have such a high level of success that you can really just build such a sustainable product and build a brand. So we want to make sure that we've got something that we can really take to market. And when we look at a competitor like Amazon, Amazon is something that is definitely a online platform that sells everything. So we know that physical retail, for instance, Amazon is really affecting physical retail with bigger stores. When we think about our online stores, maybe we're selling one particular product or one particular category of products, and we're looking at that as an opportunity to be able to be helpful to really learn from Amazon how we can differentiate and elaborate on that by using our brand. So the best way to define our brand is to really ask one specific question. When a customer thinks about our store or purchases or one of our products, what are the feelings and emotions that result in that interaction? So when somebody gets on our store and they look around or they browse, what are their feelings? And what are their thoughts as far as, what type of quality of our products or how we serve this particular category or niche? And you find yourself working into a process like this. Your actions plus your customers' emotions and feelings equal our brand. And here's the thing: when you're just launching your store, or maybe your brand, you're somewhat new, you've been around for a little while, it doesn't get there overnight. This is an ongoing process. So don't beat yourself up if, for instance, you've had some returns or you've had some negative complaints. we're all on our journey to be able to create a better online store and a better experience for our customers. But if we're aware of these things, aware of how people feel and think about our brand, we have an opportunity to really be able to do a better job on creating a great brand with our store. Now, what we've been talking about, what we continue to look into is running a small store, running a store that serves a niche market or something, specific, is really gives us the advantage over something like Amazon. And Amazon has to, sell dog food, DVDs, cereal, snow boots, you name it. It sells everything. So we really, our one job is to appeal to our target audience and to appeal to the people that enjoy the lifestyle and be able to really appreciate the things that we do. Same thing applies to the design, look and feel of our store. We definitely want to think about how our brand reflects the different type of feelings and emotions our customers get when they come onto stores. And that goes back to our first point, even in learning from our competitors. Different competitors in our space, we can understand how they present their stores. How are their stores laid out? What are the different types of things and things we can learn from them as far as different brands and product groupings and how people are buying. We get the opportunity to take advantage of that. So that kind of wraps up our branding point. Of course, brand is such a big topic. So of course that can open such a huge discussion. We can really make a full presentation on how branding can be effective within e-commerce. But that's just a small part of thinking about how our online store is performing, how our customers respond to things, and how we can do with regards to building a better brand and have that brand continue to be molded by how our customers feel and experience on our store. So the next point we want to look at is storytelling. We're looking at learning from our competitors, building a strategy. We're building some type of a brand that really resonates with the people that we want to serve on our online store. So moving in that sequence, we could see that storytelling is really something that is a huge opportunity on our stores, especially with being able to put our brand into focus. Now, when looking at Amazon, we look at their pages, we look at their product listing, and Amazon is like a big digital grid of products. It's not something that is so specific and speaks to a lot of niche markets. Now, I know Amazon is created really great subcategory pages and really been able to do a good job with some of those specific subcategories. But there's really, Amazon is not a platform for capturing people's attention, especially in a subcategory. And so with our websites, we have the ability to leverage them and create and tell a story. And a quick way getting back to WooCommerce, we have an opportunity leveraging WordPress to be able to use that to write really great articles and really great blogs that will kind of group into that content and commerce aspect. But specifically, as an online store or brand, we can use the niche approach and the size of our market, size of our store as an advantage over people that shop on Amazon. So that's why we want to create a really great story that incites customers to want to be excited about our products and our brands, or rather our brand and our products, because we have an opportunity to present a product page, present a blog, and talk about how exactly we can use our products, or how we can show how the lifestyle and how these products can be used and applied in daily life. Now here's an example of a really great specific online retailer. It's Saddleback Leather, and they sell really great leather products, very aged, kind of, you get the sense when you get onto this website, it's not vanilla. It's very specific to the lifestyle and to the appeal of this particular customer that comes onto the site. And you see that with this very specific approach to how their store is laid out. And getting on there, you could see right off the bat, Saddleback leather, they what do they sell? You guessed it, leather products. But they do so much more than that. They're a company that, if you look through their site, you could see that they've got quality, adventure, charity, and family values, and you could see that going through their story and whatnot. And they're really inviting their customers and people who have been on their site to be able to be a part. And they've got a really great warranty that they're showing. And this is exactly why we want to build an online store that differentiates from Amazon, and we can really key into opportunities to share with people exactly how we can serve this specific niche market better than specifically going onto Amazon and buying just something that's part of one of their tens of thousands and millions of products, whatever they have. Another great example of that is Warby Parker. Warby Parker is a bigger company. They've gotten to be quite a bit larger in recent years. But they do a great job on their website of just really being specific to their customer base, specific in storytelling. And you could see they do such a fantastic job of showing, exactly how the lifestyle. They tell a great story of lifestyle on their site. And we know that in this market, glasses are a commodity item, but Warby Parker's approach is so specific. And so you could see that the design is not distracting. The design allows for photos and things to tell a really great story. And they really serve their customers well. They really identify that lifestyle and put groupings of products together well. And you can see, even clicking through their website, they've made the user experience very specific to what their customers want. That's why using a great platform like, say, WooCommerce is good, because we can really tailor that customer experience to be able to be so user-friendly and not have to hop around back and forth, and be able to really do a great job of keeping customers on one page while they're engaged with our story. So our next point is building relationships. So we've gone from learning from our competitors to creating a strategy and building a brand and being able to really use our brand to tell a story. So when our stores launched, we've got an opportunity where we sold some products and we've already done some business, and we're really looking to foster ongoing customer relationships. So when we have customers who browse or they buy from our store, we want to really take that opportunity to listen and communicate with some of the customers who purchase products from our store. And so Amazon does a great job of customer service, but they're not as specific to listen to each individual customer and approach it from the interest level as we have an opportunity to do with our niche markets. Individual customer reactions can be, can take up a lot of our time, but when we're small, we have an opportunity to really listen to them and be able to be engaged with them quite a bit. And when we have that opportunity, we can really get in we really have an opportunity to listen. When we have a smaller store and a smaller customer base, we really get an opportunity to learn and be able to take that feedback and be able to put it into how we improve our brand and how we continue to tell better stories. And that helps us modify our website in a way that creates a better experience for all these customers we're serving. So taking that time to interact on a one-on-one basis with some of our customers is probably one of the best ways we can really create a better experience for not only that specific customer, but for people who come to our store and are really interested in this particular product, and especially when it's done on the small scale. And people, they absolutely love to share these stories. And when you have that opportunity and you have that captive audience, you have such a great opportunity to just, get people invited into that story, kind of like what Saddleback Leather is doing with their store. They're telling a great story, and I'm sure you could see so many other online sites that have done a great job with that as well. So that's really a great opportunity we have as our online stores, especially in a smaller market serving a specific niche, where we can share these stories and we continue to bring our customer feedback into building our brand and building a better experience. So bringing it all together, we really touched on a lot of topics or a few topics that are really on a high level, but let's bring it all together. So when looking at Amazon, we could see that it's very intimidating when we compare ourselves to a store like Amazon. We're not going to beat Amazon at their own game, but we can really learn from Amazon and what they've done very well from a specific user interface, user experience basis. But we can also look at what they cannot do as far as building a brand that's specific to this audience that we're serving, and be able to tell a story that's compelling, that really gets people interested in buying the products and really participating in the community and the lifestyle that we're really trying to serve. And that's what's so great about being able to serve a small or niche audience. You know, we get that opportunity to really be agile and use these things to cover all the customers we're serving. So we really, you know, we see the changes we apply with the online store, and we can make these changes at a greater speed and be able to take that feedback and apply it immediately. And we're telling that specific group of customers this story that inspires them to be a part of our brand and our community. So that's really just it. You know, finally, in recapping, you know, we're learning from our competitors, looking around at what we can do to learn what they do best, maybe improve on what they don't do so well. And we have an opportunity to really, you know, build somewhat of a brand and create that strategy that we can, or rather create the strategy that really helps us do well to know how we can approach our market, building a brand that really helps our customers feel welcomed. And then also we can take that and we can do so much with regards to telling a story and building relationships with our customers that are familiar with our online store and our market. So that's it.
You are right on time. Excellent.
Good deal.
Yeah, so we have some questions. I think questions from Mary and Mia will be first. Guys, it's Q&A now, and you are welcome to ask your questions. The question from Mary is, what kind of site security do you recommend?
Great question. Site security is so important for online stores, especially when you host your own platform on, say, WooCommerce. I would suggest SiteLock is a really great company that you can use as a online store, or for your online store rather. There's also Sakuri, who's a really good company. But lastly, another, you know, I don't know how long I have to answer these questions, but the best approach to online security is making sure that your store is updated and you have a really great technical partner to make sure that everything is kind of tightened up. So it's rather than going to companies, it's an ongoing process.
Okay, and then now question from Can you see it, Cody?
Which question?
Question from Mia.
Oh, okay. So let me read this here. So what are some of the things we should test in our online store, and give examples of specific test plugins to conduct on an e-commerce store? I can share from WooCommerce, since our company primarily builds sites in WooCommerce. There's a really great tool online called Robot Ninja. It's fairly new, and it's a good testing tool when you update your WooCommerce and WordPress instance to be able to run checkouts and run how well your store performs after updates. So that's a really great tool to make sure your site performs well after updating and whatnot. That's one I can recommend at least.
Okay, yes, and question from Eugene. What do you think about opportunities except payments in Messenger?
I think that is a great opportunity for niche markets to be able to take advantage of. It's not a mainstream approach yet as far as having the kind of the social one-to-one interaction, but I would say that it depends on the specific niche of your store. I wouldn't, if I'm serving a big audience and I'm selling a lot of types of products, I don't think Messenger is the great, or is necessarily the thing you want to really start with. But if you're selling a specific niche product to a more of an initiated group of customers, then I would say that you could probably experiment with that. It just depends on how technical your audience is.
Yes. One more question. Cody, you shared, you were talking about one tool. Could you please share the link to it?
Say it again.
Is it, it's a question from Mia. Can you throw the URL for the tool you mentioned in the chat box?
There you go, robotninja.com.
Yes. Here it is. Thank you very much. Guys, we have like several more minutes for a Q&A. If you have any question, you're welcome to ask it now.
Or I could finally go eat breakfast.
Yeah, so what time is it now?
It's after 9. It's about 9:17.
It's after 9. Okay, so it's 5 a.m. in New Zealand.
Oh wow.
Yes, I have 5 more hours without breakfast, but it's okay. Yes, another question from Lisa and Eugene. Question from Lisa about storytelling. How do we approach our customers?
Yeah, so I would say it depends on your market, but either way, I think that storytelling is really about lifestyle, especially in e-commerce. And like, let's say for clothing, for instance, if I'm selling clothing to somebody who's into outdoor activities, there is a storytelling that goes involved with really great photography and showing how these particular products can be demonstrated. It's kind of like going back to catalogs. You remember those catalogs? I hope I'm not dating myself, but department store catalogs and how they would show really great photography and showing how people were in different instances and using multiple products, and there would be listings on, exactly what things they were wearing and what they were doing. And that's really specific to how we can do a good job on a niche market on our store, be able to just show with great photography and demonstrate how the products and things are being used.
Okay, so guys, attendees tell me that there is an echo and they can hardly understand just what we're talking about, but I hope it's only when I am talking. It was one more question from Eugene, and he asked you about the payment methods that you use, guys, in WooCommerce.
I'd say Stripe is probably the most popular, along with PayPal. PayPal has been a go-to for so many people, but my recommendation would be whatever payment option you choose, making sure that it's not making people leave the site, staying on the website, and being able to complete a transaction with their credit card right there. And I would say that Stripe is a really great tool for that.
Okay, thank you. And I think the last one from Ron. How can we compete with low shipping rates of big retailers?
That's a tough one. The low shipping rates, I think it has to do with how we're sourcing our products and the cost. We really need to do a better job on differentiating when it comes to shipping rate. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one, especially when we have a market where we're doing, we're competing against a company like Amazon and we're selling a very specific product. The best thing I can say is just making sure we speak to the quality of our products. If it's a great quality product, maybe putting some of that cost into the product rather than putting the shipping costs completely separate. I mean, it really just depends. I know that's a tough one, especially if you're trying to serve an audience that's far away or international specifically. That could be a tough one. I'm sorry I don't have a great answer for that.
No worries. Thank you. It was a great presentation. Thank you, Cody. Thanks for your time. Yes.
Yeah,
So
thank
if
you
you
so
don't
much.
mind, yes, if you don't mind, that would be awesome if I just can grab all these questions because probably not everyone just heard what we were talking about. Yes. Then send this question to you. You answer all of them, and then I create an incredible blog post. Okay, under your name. Okay, that would be nice. Thank you very much, and have a great breakfast.
All right, thank you.